Hello, your young minds. Welcome to Fast Math with Teacher One. Today we're going to talk about how to divide decimals by powers of 10, especially one tenths, one hundredths, and one thousandths. So let's start. I have here 5.29 divided by 0.1 or one tenths. I have here 5.29 divided by 0.01 or one hundredths. I have here 5.29 divided by 0.001 or one thousandths. In dividing decimals by powers of 10, you just have to change the divisor to a full number by moving the decimal point to the rightmost place. In this case, the divisor is 0.1, so you have to move the decimal point to the right one place to make this one whole number. So by moving the decimal point to the right one place, the divisor now becomes 1. Since you have moved the divisor one place to the right, you also have to move the decimal point of the dividend one place to the right also. So you have to move the decimal point here to the right one place, and the dividend becomes now 52.9. And you have now 52.9 divided by 1. And 52.9 divided by 1, that is just 52.9 also. And next one. I have here 5.29 divided by 0.01 or 1 hundredths. Again, to change, you have to change the divisor to whole number by moving the decimal point to the rightmost place. So the decimal point is here. You have to move the decimal point to the right 2 times. So the divisor now becomes 1. And since you have moved the decimal point of the divisor 2 times to the right, you also have to move the decimal point of the dividend 2 places to the right also, and then 1 and then 2. So the dividend now becomes 529. And you have now 529 divided by 1. And that is just 529 also. Okay, and lastly, I have here 5.29 divided by 0.001. Again, first step, you have to change the divisor to full number by moving the decimal point to the rightmost place. So move 1, 2, and 3 times. So the divisor now becomes 1. And since you have moved the decimal point of the divisor 3 times to the right, you also have to move the decimal point of the dividend 3 times to the right also. Then move 1, 2, 3. And since you have here an empty place value in your dividend, you have to add 0 there. So the dividend now becomes 5,290. And 5,290 divided by 1 is just 5,290 also. Okay, let's try another example. I have here 0.5 divided by 0.1. So you just have to move the decimal point to the right, okay, one place. So the divisor now becomes 1. And also, since you have moved the divisor one place to the right, you also have to move the decimal point of the dividend one place to the right. So the dividend becomes 5. Therefore, you have now 5 divided by 1. That is just 5. Another example, I have here a 0.96 divided by 0.01. Again, the goal here is to make divisor a whole number. So you have to move the decimal point of the divisor right to the right 2 places. So the divisor now becomes 1. And since you have moved the decimal point of the divisor 2 places to the right, you also have to move the decimal point of the dividend 2 places to the right also. And that is 1 and then 2. And the dividend now becomes 96. And 96 divided by 1 is just 96. Another example I have here, 5.1 divided by 0.001. Again, you have to move the decimal point of the dividend to the right so that the dividend becomes, or the divisor becomes, whole number. So move to the right 3 places and the divisor becomes 1. And then since you have moved the decimal point of the divisor 3 places to the right, you also have to move the decimal point of the dividend 3 places to the right also. And that is 1, 2, and 3. And since you have here an empty place value, you have to add 0 there. So the dividend now becomes 5,100. And 5,100 divided by 1 is just 5,100. And that is how you divide decimals by powers of 10, especially 1/10, 100ths, and 1,000ths. Again, salamat muli sa inyo. That is Fast Math by Teacher One. Eager Young Minds, don't forget to subscribe. See you again on our next video.